get out of this situation as the pressure does not slow down.
Yeah, the Thunderburst just doing so much damage. Even the Nemesis being on those builds, but 15 HP. Queasy just trying to get out, but there's still pressure for so many duos, so many angles. Top 19 is where Queasy and Thomas will go down in game 1. Hopefully that motivates them to keep going. Noah, Aqua, they're going to be the first team here on the high ground. Can they hold on to it? Because we see Night Zone for some. It might be too early because we know there's a duo or even a solo at the low ground planning to try to overtake this at the perfect moment.
You know how much Aqua likes to play on the high ground with 3 elims already. Holding it from the first zone can be a risky move, but at the same time, first match grand finals, so many resources have been used from these duos just trying to get enough damage and make it into zone. It could be enough for them to hold on to it. Rezon now, huge impact there, recuperating the materials. 2 elims on the board total, but you can see they need to stay together on this rotate.
Yeah, it wasn't a ton, but those Siphon mats are getting him from point A to point B, allowing him to pop the big pot, get his shields back. Cammy by himself, but luckily for them, out of the duo, he's the one that typically does carry the HP heals. Top 16, still got more points to gather and doing a good job of staying ahead of the game. Sees the zone, going up the mountain. He's trying to beat every team there as Pink and Vico went down to Pablo, who lost his teammate Bevies early on in this game.
Yanis, Flixie, favorites for today's competition as they go ahead with the grapple blade, making sure to stay together, but you gotta be careful. It is Cammy close by. Do they know that it's a solo as they continue to tarp ahead of zone?
Yeah, Yanis, Flixie trying to make their way in from Cash Cup first place to first game of the FNCS, willing to break that curse and make it so, but Video gets down along the way. Rezon stuck by himself, and he's doing a fantastic job moving through these builds almost unseen.
Last medkit now being put to good use, seeing if he can find a rotate here. He is going to be on the backside, so we'll have more options on how to rotate in. Malabuka in a similar situation. No medkit though. No Flowberry Fizz. He has that momentum boost from popping it, but it's only going to last so long as now Vanyak, Sined, they're going for height.
This is their chance, but they immediately get stuffed and shut down. He even knocked as Noah and Aqua, they're able to solidify it and keep a hold of that high ground for now. But he runs into Pablo, but same song, different dance. He goes ahead and gets another elimination, bringing their total of 6.
Another one on the books as Malabuka goes down as well. Flixie now left as a solo. He is going to be forced to pop a medkit in zone.
This is his chance, though. Placement points for consistency on that leaderboard with his teammate going down. Sined trying to do the same thing as Aqua and Noah on the high ground, putting down an immense amount of pressure. Dioxy and Cade, 7 eliminations. They're looking like some of the most healthy team in this lobby outside of the high ground.
11 players up, 8 duos. Noah does not have any medkits in his inventory. Does Aqua have some if they want to play the heal off? But it looks like they might not even have to. So much pressure is being put on second height on the players. Waterfalling down this mountain as the chaos now below is increasing.
Yeah, Arian down there by himself as well. The probably one's putting the pressure on Dioxy and Cade. He's going to be able to go ahead and make more space so that way he has more room to work with. Nobody's really taking note. He's that meat in the middle. Bottom layer, though, now trying to chop it down into the palm of their hands. 3-team FNCS final for game 1. Aqua, Noah, they lose high ground at the worst possible moment. Noah goes down. Cade gets dropped. It's all up to Loki, who gets another elimination, bringing it down to a 1v1, but he doesn't have heals. It's all up to Aqua. He's going back in with 1 flopper left. He's going to use it, ready to fight it, but he goes down. Loki takes down Aqua and takes game 1.
Loki saw from the dirt down below, eliminating the high ground duo. Noah and Aqua held it throughout first moving zone all the way to the last moments, even with floppers in the inventory, but they were unable to connect those impactful shots and went down to Saw and his duo partner in those last moments.
Yeah, they stayed on that ultimate low ground every single time. Even with those refresh, the extra mats they were able to get, they just stayed ahead. And that elimination on the Flixie allowed them to build that cone tarp, so that way they're able to fight this with Noah going down back of zone. Even with a trade, the edit with the cone, the frenzy shotgun, they just played that almost flawlessly to take game 1. Snatch that medallion at the last second, and on the receiving end of the mythic frenzy, all but just a sliver of HP, but he gets forced back to the zone. That's where Thomas is going to get credit for that knock, and you see him going back, trying to get the materials, maxed up on loot as well. He's definitely cementing himself to have a big game here as a solo.
3 med kits for Thomas HD, full materials. This is what he needs to continue forwards. He can even play the heal off if he's able to make it far enough. 17 duos are up, 30 players.
Multiple medallions as well. The list of things that are going right for Thomas, other than him being a solo, is there. Nebs and iDrop trying to break to the back of the zone, the back of the box. They get confused momentarily as iDrop takes a huge amount of damage trying to make his way in. This is where they're going to stagger themselves. Flowberry Fizz, and they hop their way to the front side of the zone.
Still on high ground. I believe it's Swizzy Putrick. They've been maintaining it, but iDrop Nebs, their second height, as the pressure from above is gonna be raining down shortly. The zone pulling over water. Tayson Venno close to second as Thomas is still going strong.
Yep, he's looking probably the toughest solo player here, even separating himself from everybody else. Venno, Tayson make a shot at the high ground. It drops down and it turns on its side. They're the ones who went in for the elimination. Venno stuck to the outside of the zone, 15 HP, running out of builds, but finds a huge blind fire with the Reaper, unable to get the knock, but he's still trying to chase that elimination as he runs out of builds.
Just 15 HP, and it's gonna be the one shot to take him out. Vico now left as a solo as well, gone down, eliminated. It's Thomas HD. He's still going.
This is a solo that everybody knows that can put up some big points. 6 eliminations by himself, 8 as a team. A 9th's gonna be found as Lunex goes down, but Monier's trying to save the day. Swizzy towards the outside as well. There's where all Thomas's loot is gonna go, to the west side as he gets pressured from the high ground.
Winnable for Thomas HD. He has 3 medkits. He can play the heal off. All he needs to do is stay up until that last zone. With 8 or 7 eliminations to his lane, he is on fire.
Yeah, everybody here is solos but one team, and it might be the high ground team. This could be a great chance for Thomas to win this game. Taking a tick in the zone, that's going to allow him to start the heal off just a second earlier as iDrop's trying to creep around below. Thomas spots him out, makes him run into the next box. This is where everybody's getting closer and closer together, running out of time here at the end.
Huge for Thomas HD. That's 8, but he gets dropped. He gets eliminated. The medkits go to iDrop. It's now 2 duos up, 2 versus 1. Will iDrop have the space to pop the medkit? Yanis, Flixie taking shots, taking the elimination, and getting the VR for game 2.
No medkits, no heals, no problem for Yanis and Flixie. And they even saw that person trying to heal off, thunder bursting straight into the box to cancel the medkit and steal the game away. Yanis and Flixie are looking like the Titans on top of the mountain now.
They were dominating in this recent match. I'm not sure exactly when they were able to overthrow high ground, but there was so many solos down below that just having that chemistry, having both players up, was enough to give them that advantage to secure the win.
Just looking, Flixie just looking smooth, calm, cool, collected, backside of the zone. And this is where they knew it was all over for iDrop. Had him trapped, and as soon as they saw the audio visuals, the med kit going off, they beamed into the box to take him down.
It's needed, crucial, as he's put into panic. 50 below. Surge will start ticking shortly. If he's unable to do more damage, he sees Rezon below. He sees all these players flying through the sky, but it's gonna be 68 damage. 18 now is all he needs.
Barely is able to get above. A couple of shots like that is going to give him a little bit more room in terms of comfortability before he goes to the front side yet again, doing wonders here as a solo. But a refresh is going to have to come through. Out of materials, out of resources. Voco's Vortexers, first one's on the high ground, but Vidil on that mid layer. He could be the one, along with Rezon, to try to take over that high ground.
Yanis taken out. Cammy still staying strong as a solo. 63 builds to work with. Medkit Mythic. Flowberry has everything to continue clutching.
This could be his opportunity, but time is slowly but surely running out. Reckless Railways giving him a little bit of separation with those builds that are already there. Rezon, Vidil still battling for that high ground, but a lot of damage has been taken. They're going to get pushed further and further down low thanks to Vortexers and Voco.
Could this be it? Will they want to go for the high ground? Vortexes and Volco holding strong, but for how long? As there's only 7 builds left for Volco. Chop down now. Opportunity arises for their opponents as they build up. It's Axe Force looking to take it.
That was his chance. Roban's there to back him up. Volco doesn't have any builds. He cannot keep getting up higher and higher. He's going to have to let the fight come down to him, and that's exactly what came through. Vortexers did a good job of battling both Axe Force and Roban down, and even elimination happening to the backside of zone, but he wasn't able to get the mats. He's out of mats. That's an out of time.
Cammy still up though, 4 elims to his name now, 18 builds as he continues to clutch as a solo, but boom, eliminated. Vadil, 5 on the board, Rezon knocked down.
That's the med kits that he was able to found and immediately starts putting them to work, trying to stagger himself back, get a couple more placement points. Vortex's Voco, they had high ground and they're doing a good job of holding on to it, but both of them are weak. Slivers of HP, only shield to get passed around.
Ping, 1 shot away from securing an elimination. He does it. No medkit picked up though as he's continuing to build out. Mats are running low. It is a full duo down below. It is a full duo up above. The 2 versus 2 as Volko gets cracked.
That is a big shot, but Mixon goes down. It's all up to pings. No HP, no builds. Grapple blading to high, but it's not enough. A huge shutdown for Vortexers and Voco to take game 3. And they were the team Takada that was able to not only grab high ground, but finally hold on to it to the very end.
A crucial hammer pump shot to secure them the victory royale. They were contested through the late game. People time and time again trying to take the high ground from them, but they were landing their shots. They were connecting what needed to be connected, and from that, they got the win.
Yep, that team that you were talking about battling for the high ground, Roban, Axe Force, they were immediately dethroned and sent back to the lobby to watch this masterpiece. They knew they had their opponents down. They knew they had them out. They wait for the grapple blade, and 2 well-placed shot ends that run. Voco Vortexers have finally awakened for their slumber.
Tayson, though, low on HP. They have the heals, but do they have the time? It's Noms and Cringe now who've taken height.
Yep, and they taken down Queasy and Thomas to start the game off. Might as well take the game after that, as Veno Tayson feeling a little bit of the pressure throughout the first couple of games. It hasn't necessarily went their way, but better late than never, I always say. And this is their chance to really rise up that leaderboard with a well-placed game.
Rezon Vadil, 6 on the board. They're on fire currently. They just need to continue the momentum. They have the materials. They have the loot. With pressure being applied from above, they're able to get ahead, building up now, closer and closer to second height. What's their game plan?
Yep, they're already in first place, or at least up top side of the leaderboard. They can go ahead and steal it away convincingly with well-placed game, especially with Cade and Diox already out. Veno still trying to go ahead and make a high ground play for himself. They chop it down, and this is their chance to not only take it, but hold on to it to the very end.
Can they maintain it is the question as the aggression continues from the players below. Vadil now with another elimination. That's 4. 3 medkits as well in the inventory.
Skydune's gonna get taken down. 4 more points for them, but the Kings on top of the castle, they can hold on to it. CZB, he's traveling through as a solo. Malibuka's still alive, making his way through as well. So many teams trying to have a stand here in the first game of halftime, game 4 on the day.
Chemistry at an all-time high in this match with all the duos that are currently up. MrSavage and Malibuka interested in what's happening in the clouds. Do they see an option? Do they see an opportunity? It's also Vadil and Rezon with the same idea.
Multiple teams looking up and trying to make high ground a focal point of their strategy, but they get tagged up back. Tayson, Veno putting pressure down, not wanting to let it go easy, but the persistence is there. They're gonna have to drop down eventually.
Running low on materials now. They're gonna look for those impacts. MrSavage and Malibuka, they have the advantage being a duo, but can they find the solos?
Oh, no.
Gets dropped down. He's taken out. Malibuka is now one of them.
It was gonna be a trade. Vortexers gets chopped as well. Voco gets taken down, so it's all up to Malibuka by himself to see if he can clutch up. A few solos still left in the game.
Veno from above taking shots. He needs to find the win condition here. No medkits in the inventory as Malibuka continues holding on. He has that medkit in hand as CZB, Pablo Bevies all in the dirt. Brawl.
That's the only team that's a full duo at the low ground. That's Pablo, that's Bevies. Veno, he's trying to make a play. Flowberry Fizz coming out. He drops from above. It's not going to be enough. He gets taken down by Bevies, who leave it up into a 3-player battle royal here for the end game. And 2 of the 3 teams are healing off backside of zone.
Question is, who has the most heals? Darkest, Malibuka, both. The clock's ticking. Dark is forced to move. Malibuka gets the elim. No more medkits left. It's Pablo. It's Bevies that take the win.
That is a huge win for Pablo and Bevies. They were just on the cusp throughout the qualification process where there was upper bracket, lower bracket. They did just enough to make it work. And now here in the FNCS finals, they take the game and they do it by not even going to heal off.
Venno, Tayson, they had such a dominant position up above, but they were unable to play the heal off. The two solos that did so were forced to do it early, and it left just Bevies and Pablo in a waiting game, taking shots at Malibuca in the last moments and securing that VR.
And trying to make the right move, because I don't think anybody's noticed him just yet. And he's sneaking up onto Queasy and Thomas. He can figure out a way to get in those builds, but I do think he has no choice but to kind of go around them instead of through, and there's going to be his opportunity, and the last of his builds going to be used.
Another duo close by. He needs to find a solo. Those are the best odds for getting that elimination, but Rezon gets knocked down. Pablo Bevies wanting to make a back-to-back. 4 elims already. Solid layer, continuing to stay ahead.
They were 31 points to start this game, ahead of second place, and still so many placement points on the board to be grabbed. Tayson has the high ground. Thomas, Queasy, they're doing fine on the low, staying ahead of everybody else and building full on tarps just to try to make sure that this water that they're traveling over is going to be little to no worry.
Players who are running out of materials are dropping down in the water now as Venno's high ground is getting contested. Is Tayson going to be able to hold on strong? No, it's Shakeoff. It's Skydude who've taken it.
Yep, and it doesn't look like Queasy is going to be able to look back and kind of target it just yet. Venno can't do it either. Tayson and him, they just go to the front side of the zone. They still have the grapple blades and the flowberry fizz, so getting up this mountain isn't going to be too much of a worry for them, but they still want to target that high ground. They don't want to let this victory royale go for free, and now they target it towards the back. Nice shots by Venno, but he loses Tayson along the way. It continues as he has one more player in his line of sight. That player is going to get knocked, and a double elimination coming through for Venno.
3 medkits, forced to start the heal off early, has the grapple blade to continue and get back up the ridge, but as Malibuca, Queasy's been knocked down, MrSavage up on the high ground, Thomas as well, popping the heal off. Everybody is doing it early.
It's his chance, but he's getting targeted. Heal off is going to get canceled. He gets taken down overall. MrSavage gets dropped, leaving Malibuca by himself, but this is something we've seen Malibuca throughout this FNCS, his ability to solo clutch.
He needs the medkits though. He needs to find some heals. So many players are still down below. He's looking for these options. Where are the heals? Where are the medkits? Does he just go for the engagement as this one duo down below, still up and healthy? Mixin though in the zone. Malibuca taking shots as now he goes up for the shot, unable to connect it, holding on just 4 more builds.
He does a good job of blocking off Mixin, feeding him to the wolves on the low ground. Chari Gira, 6 eliminations so far, but Malibuca not going down without a fight. He tries to go ahead and slingshot his way back into the zone, but gets denied entry. There goes a big game for Giris and Chari.
Great way to secure the VR, and Malibuca, gotta commend him as well for staying up as long as he did. He didn't have that win condition in terms of the med kit, so he was just trying to get the elim, trying to stay up for that second place, put himself into a 1 versus 2, back-to-back second places. But that is more than enough to bump themselves up the leaderboard.
Yeah, and even though MrSavage was down, he did so much damage on the backside of zone to both Venno and Tayson. He got credit for not one, but both of those eliminations. 8 more points for him, but that just made Chari and Gira's job that much easier to take the game. A nook, a cranny on the side of the mountain while all other teams are still battling all out to try to get eliminations.
Queasy staying ahead while Thomas now connecting. So far, so good in terms of the high ground. Rezon, though, he's lost his duo partner. Vidil is down. He does have that med kit to recuperate the HP and play slow, but what he does not have are materials.
Yeah, running out even with the find that he was able to have early on. It all gets shut down. Wouldn't say first place is wildly up for grabs, but it definitely has a chance for somebody to overtake, including Venno and Tayson. Started this game in 7th place. Each and every time they play, they've been getting better, adapting on the fly, and this could be their chance to finally take that first place.
Queasy Thomas need to apply pressure onto Venno and Tayson. They know they're second high, but the snipe shot connected by Venno. Now, with the advantage, pushing up for the clouds. They want this high ground. They want this win condition. But as the risk factor increases, they drop down, and Thomas and Queasy are forced to go below as well. But Thomas gets taken out. It's Venno. Huge snipe. Now, retook high ground.
He's definitely put a respect on his name in the sniper game. He said, what? He's the best sniper? Nah. Not only gets the sniper, gets the high ground, and a chance to solidify the game now that him and Tayson are taking over.
Queasy alone. He does have a decent amount of materials, but he cannot play second height. The pressure's going to be on him as he slowly drops down below, but he has to find that layer where there's no duos, there's no solos close by. Gets a knock though. It's on Pablo. This could be a huge impact.
Yep, now he's going to get even more mats to work with. Floor getting edited. Queasy quickly thinks he gets out, but he does it yet again. I think that was another sniper on a player towards the sky, but doesn't matter. He's putting on a show. Queasy stuck by himself. Medallion doing the work to try to get his shield back on up, but he cannot wait. He doesn't have the luxury. Too many teams all around.
No medkit, just one tick away, and Storm is going to lead to Queasy's demise here. He's going to have to stay ahead as now gets boxed up with an opponent. Looks like he might have secured the knock, but he doesn't have time to get the finish. He cannot play in zone here. He has no heals. He has no medkit as he continues in the dirt.
Yeah, he's barely going underneath. He's trying to make sure if anybody drops, he has that perfect opportunity. No builds. Geary's Chari on the other side. Kiduo even pops into the mix. Queasy lands that first shot, and he's trying to go around. He doesn't want to get stuck as the sandwich in the middle.
Looking for that one shot. The frenzy. Is it going to be enough damage? It's not. Kiduo, hammer pump, elimination. Tayson Venno looking to secure the win condition.
And this is the same position a few seasons ago as Hari's trying to break in. He does, gets that elimination, bringing it down to a 2v2 situation. Venno and Tayson, they had the high ground, but now it's gone on over. Hari's goes down. He's the first one dropped. 2v1. Venno and Tayson versus Geary's, who's already started the heal off the backside of the zone.
How many medkits does he have? That's what's on my mind as Tayson begins the hunt. Benno trying to outlive his opponent. Who is going to be able to stay up longer?
It's all about the medkits. Venno has none. Geary's trying to make his way to the front side of the zone and doesn't get a chance. Venno and Tayson overtake high ground at the perfect moment. Well-placed snipe, and they steal away Game 6 of the FNCS Finals.
Game-changing shots from Venno. I'm not sure if he had the heal off there. No medkits to his name, but securing those last shots is what got him that elimination and that win.
That is big. Let's watch the replays. The snipe lands. Thomas goes down, and this is where Venno and Tayson completely take over. And it's not enough for these guys to take part in the FNCS Finals. They want to take over the FNCS Finals. And with a game like this to end the day, confidence has to be at an all-time high.
Thomas HD with massive snipes, but Levin said it himself. Venno has been unreal with the sniper rifle recently, and even with the SMG connecting those final bullets to secure the VR, bumping the...
I'm interested to see where Tayson is, because there was an interesting theory that you had, or you pointed out to me, Mini Miner, about the fact that Tayson, when he was with MrSavage this time last year, he was 7th at the end of day 1, and they actually managed to take that one.
Oh, it's not too much of a worry with the strategies they have. Go to the front side. Those would be the opportunities to look back. And I think Queasy and Thomas are doing a good job of finding those open holes here through this end game. You can even see Flowberry Fizz coming out, just trying to top off the shields. Thomas still moving forward in the zone as well.
We know how much Queasy loves or has loved playing high ground in the past, which is why I love seeing this duo play closer to second height. But there's so much elevation between second and ultimate high ground currently that they have to find that right opportunity to strike, to chop them down and go for it. Meanwhile, down in the dirt, Merstash Malabuka, 3 medkits, looking like they could potentially have that win condition.
Yeah, great use of the flow bear, and they immediately go to the front side of zone as Thomas, Queasy, they're just trying to go and stay off of that bottom layer. No high ground take just yet. They aren't healthy enough to make that a possibility. MrSavage finds elimination on Cade. Pablo getting stuffed backside of zone. Impressive run as a solo Takata. They started the game in 5th place, and this is a way to keep your position on the leaderboard intact.
See, Pablo is clutching so many points. 2 medkits in hand as he's going to play the heal off here. Meanwhile, he plans, what's the rotation? Where's the impact? Where's the refresh that I can get here as he starts walking closer and closer? There's Queasy close by. Nate right beside him. That's not your duo partner, Pablo. That's an enemy.
Wave high to each other before he disengages. Only has a few builds to work with. Trying to be very, very picky when he uses them, but those are going to be 2 rightfully placed. Able to go in and outside of the box before he tries to make his way back in. Can't take too much damage through the zone. Out of builds. Vortex was in his line of sight. This is his chance to get a refresh, and he picks it up with ease.
More med kits get dropped. Is he going to be able to pick them back up as it's Queasy inside the zone? Is he going to look for some sort of flank? I'm not sure if Thomas is still up. No, he's gone down. Queasy now left as a solo, securing as many placements as possible.
Yep, last of the med kits. Now he has to make his way inward, and he does so with the quickness, trying to get to the front side so that way he can look back, try to defend himself, give himself options. Kiro is going to pick up a couple eliminations, but Pablo, the solo mastermind, still holding on strong. 6 elimination as a team with the lion's share going to him. A nice shot and a nice elimination from Pablo as he gets MrSavage down.
He gets a knock. He gets an elimination. It's MrSavage. That's up to 6 as Pablo hunts for more. Headhunter right now as Pablo's unstoppable with another onto Queasy.
That's 2 big teams, 2 Titans at the top of the leaderboard down, and this is his chance to overtake the first place. Another knock there onto Kiro, and he's bringing it back. 7 eliminations, looking for an 8th. It finally comes to an end, but he's done more than enough work to boost up the leaderboard.
Sanguild, Marius down below. It's a 2 versus 2 against the duo up high. Dexy, Eclipse, they've been holding on since the first moving zone. All they need to do is close it out.
Yeah, they're running out of builds. Everything's going to come crashing down, but Eclipse gets dropped. Dexy trying to fight back, but the numbers game is just too much. Marius is able to stand up tall, take him down, and take the game.
Unable to finish it off, finishing in second, but Sanguild, Marius securing the win, securing that victory royale. What an electric way to start game 1 of the Day 2 EU FNCS finals.
Yep, and throughout the course of that game, we saw first place go down, second place go down, fourth place go down, and then even third eventually. And even though Pablo didn't win the game, he was in 5th place. I can only imagine what the leaderboards look like, but Marius and Sanguild from the low ground, they chop them down like a great oak tree in the forest, and they put in work to take the game. I can only imagine where they're positioned on the leaderboard now that it's 1.5 times point. But he takes a shot himself, trying to reunite with Vortexers, so that way they can try to heal up as best as he can.
Big pot getting put to good use. Vortex's Volko looking to continue strong. It's going to be Rezon, Vadil trying to make a comeback from that game 1. They have the high ground. Can they hold on?
Question we're going to be asking ourselves. 364 above, but almost every game so far, no matter if it was early in the 9th zone, late in the 11th zone, somebody usually tries to threaten to take over that high ground, claim it for themselves. Mix in 195, plenty of builds to work with, but he is going to be a solo. Spots somebody right in front, quick reaction to turn around, and once again, grapple blade to the front side of the zone, being able to recycle some of these builds and save it for when he needs it most.
Mixon has to clutch it up. He has that mythic frenzy. He has a good amount of builds, even ahead of zone. With those 3 medkits, the potential to play back and slow when he runs out of materials. MrSavage, Malabuka, though, showing their dominance with 3 elims. Issue is, they could use a bit more materials, but they're more than healthy for the rest of this zone.
Yeah, but this consistency is absolutely insane for Malabuka and MrSavage. They're slowly but surely moving up the leaderboard, which is hard to say because they're already at the top of it. Started in 3rd place on the day, slowly but surely taking over other spots. Vortexers lost Voko. You saw his shields get dropped not too long ago, so now Vortexers left by himself, trying to grapple blade once more to the front side of the zone. Ends up almost getting boxed up, but it doesn't matter. Marius and Sanguild, 2 shots are better than 1. Take him down.
Wanting to get the back-to-back VR as Vadil Rezon still up strong above. Marius, Sanguild now trying to build up as this zone does pull towards a ridge. They cannot get trapped here. They need to elevate themselves as quickly as possible, but as all duos have the same plan in mind, they get trapped together on the journey up the hill. As his duo partner Sanguild goes down, so does Marius.
Yeah, he tries to backtrack in his zone. That was 2 different teams that took part in eliminating that one. As Shari, Gear is trying to go ahead and get a flank on Andalex and Sato. So far, it's working to fruition, but they immediately drop down low. Find a shot on a Nev, but I think iDrop was able to scoop him up before the elimination actually went through, saving the loot for himself, but another traded shot going off. Hari is doing his best to go ahead and dominate the lobby, but he finds a medkit towards the backside. He's going to allow himself to stagger backside of zone.
It was Malabuka who got eliminated, as now zone pulling under the train tracks. iDrop using that as he builds close to one of the pillars, but with just 10 HP, he's forced to pop a medkit.
Yeah, a lot of these med kits coming out a little bit earlier than some would hope, but the trend for FNCS continues. Not too many heal off as Hari's just trying to get some extra points, but he gets shut down from the high ground. Analyx, Sado look towards the back. They find out Art Skill. Another couple eliminations going to be grabbed, and they position themselves in the top 3.
5 players up, 3 duos. We still have Vidil and Rezon up above. Cade is going to be the solo. Goes down to zone. The 2v2 height versus low as Rezon drops in. Cracks one, unable to get the knock. Vidil now forced as a solo.
He still has the med kits. He gets it canceled though by a threat to try to jump up. Second one going off. It's also going to be canceled. He drops down onto Analyx. Sado is already down. Vidil has woken up from his slumber after day 1 to awaken here in game 2 on the day to take it all.
Back in business from a rough game 1 after dominating day 1, finishing in first place. They are back on their throne.
And that's what happened. The topsy-turvy for those points. 1.5 times points compared to yesterday. And I said it, we are going to see that leaderboard change hands almost every single game today. And with a valiant effort from Bevies and his solo clutch, he went down far too early to where points like this, a win like this, 6 eliminations, 100 points from placement alone, Takata, they have to be sitting pretty in first.
Rotates will have to come through. It's 9th zone now. First moving coming to a close. A majority of the duos already on the moving side, but it's Swizzy and Putrick that are in the clouds. We've seen throughout these matches that the duos to hold on from first zone are almost able to maintain it the whole rate through the end game. Can they do it once again?
Only time will tell, because we know there's a couple of those teams still alive here in this lobby. Especially the ones with snipers. Bevy just gets targeted out. Multiple teams, left, right, and center. Malabuka and Merstash doing the brunt of that damage, continuing the pressure. They don't want to let these eliminations go for free, but Pablo is going to be able to skip on by with the Flowberry Fizz combined with the Crash Pad. Bevies and him got separated, finally reunite though with just a sliver of HP. These guys never seemingly going down without a fight. You can never count them out.
Pressure is on as they're 132 below. Flowberry Fizz gonna be popped for that mobility boost. Big pot coming through, but Bevies needs a med kit. It's dropped now as they need to keep rotating.
80 below. Storm Surge going to begin to do damage for this team. They have to figure out where they're going to get the damage. 23, 40, 80, constantly ping-pong up and down the damage threshold. A couple of those heals are coming out. Only a couple more players do need to go down before Storm Surge does deactivate. Great play and example for that as Diox gets the target towards the backside. Damage has been dealt, but Storm Surge turns off. Pablo and Bevy still need some sort of a refresh to heal up, and Diox is going to be the one in their line of sights, hot on the heels, but he changes layers to try to get out. He's trying to plan a great escape here.
Pablo needs to be the initiator here. He does have more HP and shield. His duo partner now needs to regroup. There we go. They're together. They're surviving zone, but with 0 builds to work with, they popped their last big pot, and they need to make something happen.
Yep, all they have left. Meanwhile, smooth sailing, Swizzy, Putrick still have to be careful though, because I saw Thomas Queasy going up a few layers. Those are the ones who might take high ground, but Pablo gets dropped. Bevies gets taken down. Dexy with a 2v1. That's how you score 12 points in the late game.
The back-to-back is Malabuka. Once again, left as a solo. 505 points on the board, looking to overtake the throne. 2 medkits in the inventory. He's gonna pop 1. He does have 28 builds. 2 options now. Go ahead with the materials or stay again in the zone. Another medkit. As Queasy and Thomas, they retook height.
I knew it. The moment I saw them moving up a couple of those layers, they want to go ahead and try to close out this game. You have to be careful, though. We've seen them in this position before, yesterday to be exact, and they were taken down by a well-placed snipe shot. Thomas overstretching to get those opportunities. Will they make that same mistake? Marius and Sandguild, and this team, they already have a win today, and it was Sandguild's first win in an FNCS Finals lobby, and they're looking to mimic that here.
Not only that, 8 eliminations. They want double digits. They're hungry for more. Just 8 duos up as Astral gets taken down. Double edit comes through. It's Pink. It's Vico as Marius continues taking shots. He's just 1 more away from getting the knock on Pink, and he gets it. Both players still up. They continue from low ground.
That was a big find to keep themselves moving forward. 9 eliminations, almost into the double digits, but you have to go against the kings of Lavish Layer, Thomas and Queasy. As he drops in, he finds out Pixie on the hunt for another. Pink and Vico are now fully out of lobby as Vico gets taken down. Thomas continues to drop down, but it's not enough. He finally meets his maker. Marius and Sangil take him out, and they're trying to go for their second VR of the day as they inch themselves into the final 4.
Can they do it? It's Queasy up top. He has a med kit. The question is, how many? Sangil now forced to play in the zone. Marius looking to cause disruption. It's Sangil that has one more med kit. And Queasy up above, continuing with the heal off.
Yeah, Sapphires there as well. Basically a solo FNCS for this end game, all coming down to a heal off. Queasy grapple blades to the front side of the zone. Can only imagine what he found. Sangil now has to go on the hunt. The last of his heals are going to be used. Only a few seconds left, but he finds another med kit. No chance to use it. Queasy and Thomas take the game.
That is a massive win for this duo. They were dropped down to 8th place from going off spawn to now securing the victory royale and bumping themselves right back to where they came from.
Playing their roles to perfection. Thomas dropping down, causing so much chaos, so much commotion to find those eliminations and pick up opportunities for Queasy to go unscathed on that high ground. Even with him starting the heal off before zone fully closed, they did more than enough damage and found more than enough heals to make this game look easy.
Queasy looking to secure his 4th FNCS title. Thomas HD trying to get his 1st. The most consistent player yet to take home an FNCS. You know they want it more than ever.
It's gonna be the greatest chance. There was kind of the final moments. Grapple blading to the front side of the zone. Almost even threading the needle in terms of when he popped it. You saw him go down to about 16 or so HP, but once again, Thomas and Queasy. Medkits, big pots are coming out. Malibu and Mustache getting ready for this next rotation, but first they're going to try to disrupt a couple of these teams before they go ahead and make that rotation possible. Cade goes in, gets a knock, pressure coming in from all angles, not able to clean up the elimination before he goes down himself.
Be careful as Thomas HD Queasy now forced to fight second high. Do they have what it takes to maintain it? It was Cammy, it was Seti down below, applying that pressure as they're back up top.
Yep. We've seen this in that last game. Of course, Queasy was just a little bit more healthy, but they were somehow able to find the med kit in which they were looking for. Great eliminations, a great find for them from top to bottom, high ground to low. Mustache Malabuka being the defining force. It's like everybody, whether they're up or bottom, has to go through these two teams if they're looking to take a huge VR. And Malabuka and Mustache, they want to get to the front side of zone. They're tired of being last. Thomas hits a nice snipe onto Darky. Everything comes crumbling down, but Queasy and Thomas are quickly able to find their footing and save the day.
Grapple blade continuing to be used, no longer with height. It's been given up as now they've been split. They need to regroup. You have to be careful here. You cannot lose your duo partner, but the chemistry isn't high enough. Thomas HD cracked 60 HP, takes a shot at the pixel, gets out of the box, and now continues to find his duo.
Yeah, Medallion clicking him up. Malabuka, Mustache goes down. It's this amount of placing differential that Thomas and Queasy need to overtake that first place spot. They have 6 eliminations and looking for more. They set their eyes to the backside of the zone. It is pulling in that direction. They know somebody's there, but it's Eclipse. He's trying to start his heal off early to gather more placement.
They have no materials, though. They need to make something big happen. As from Ozone to Stratosphere in the sky, Yanis and Flixie as high as they can be. Thomas HD, though, down in the dirt as he crawls towards his enemies.
Yeah, they don't really have enough to look up towards the sky. They're doing the bare minimum to stay alive from one stage to the next. And they know somebody's pressuring them from above. Time is running out. Builds are looking thin. Queasy, Thomas are going to have to look to make a play on a player, but it's them. Queasy gets aggressed on from the backside of zone, but the tables have turned. Hari's going to be able to get a knock onto one, but a ton of damage onto Thomas. Seti's going to complete the flank. Queasy's fighting for his life out here, and he gets the elimination onto Seti. Finds a couple of builds, but the zone is forcing him into a whole nother team's hands.
Somebody call security. Queasy's looking unstoppable as he needs to make something happen. Zone gets the best of him. Kiduo still up with 4. Can they get 5? They get the knock onto Sky, but the duo up above, it's Yanis, it's Flixie. They want to take it home.
They already have one VR in the tournament yesterday. They're looking to go ahead and grab another one. Flixie came here to play. Yanis taking the high ground, denying all entry to Kiro and Kuduo as the first down is going to come through. Yanis and Flixie, 8 elims. They make it look easy as they take the game by force.
What a way to close off the second to last match. Once again, a drastic change in the leaderboard. These grand finals have been way too intense, Jacob. I just cannot wait to see how they unfold.
This is just really turning out to be a photo finish. A knock on a Pixel, gets the elimination, dropping down. And Flixie, he's been around. He's been here. Not enough respect gets on his name, and with domination just like this, Yanis and Flixie moving up the leaderboard. Hey, this could be his first FNCS championship.
Look, Janis was actually duoed up with Vidil when Vidil secured his first ever and only FNCS title. Kiduo are going to be the ones on height. 4 elims on the board. With this type of zone as well, they should be able to hold on.
Just trying to figure out who's next in line on that leaderboard. Just kind of move up. But a lot of our top competitors going down early in this game in terms of the amount of placement points they can actually grab. 404 for Vico and Pink. This is a shot for them to move up the leaderboards for sure. Plenty of points still on the board. 209 above the threshold. And they have some elevation, but Vico's looking down at Pink. How can he help his teammate out? And he realizes he can no longer be the hero to this duo. He's going to be stuck by himself now as a solo.
800 materials though, 75 builds. He has more than enough to stay up. He has the damage. No risks are needed for Vico currently, but he could use those eliminations on the players rotating through. Kiro continuing to drop down now, all the way in the clouds as Mongraal Savage still up. I drop as well as a solo, 359 above.
This is a solo nightmare for a lot of these players that are trying to use the second to last opportunity to burst up the leaderboard and give themselves a fighting shot for that first place, or maybe even a global championship spot, top 2 at the bare minimum. Cringe, you can see him over on the other side. It looks like switching away from Lavish Layer was a great play for them because now they've made it to the end game.
Bony, Lunex, 4 on the board, about to grapple blade. Down below, you got to be careful though. It's the same plan as a lot of these other duos. You don't want to get mixed up in an opponent's box as they quickly change layers now. A bit safer, but the pressure from above will come through. It's the height team taking shots. They don't want anybody overtaking them, so they're going to keep applying that pressure to the duos close by.
And we're going up the mountain yet again. A lot of players going through a roller coaster of emotions, almost figuratively and literally, as Vico, somebody's knocking at the box on the low side. Shaco's and Aaron going ahead and battling it out between each other. Shaco is going to be the one that gets dropped down. iDrop continuing to move forward as a solo and somehow finds an elimination onto Roban, giving them 6 more points. Crucial points here at a moment like this.
20 HP, 20 builds, not much to work with for iDrop. All he needs to do now is find that solo, find that potential impact elimination, but it's a duo close by. You got to pick your fight correctly here, iDrop. So many healthy duos, but also so many solos in shambles. He has to find the correct one. It's Lunex above, still staying at the edge of the zone. Hits the first shots. It's a crack onto his opponents, but he goes down.
The majority of the lobby is just running around as solos here. About 5 of them to be exact, Vico being one of them. Without builds, he's kind of forcing himself lower and lower, especially with the zone moving down that mountain. A little bit of a blessing in disguise as Mongraal finally goes down. 6 eliminations for him and Savage, and an end game has been achieved. Definitely enough points to move up the leaderboard a few spaces, but not where they would hope.
Lunex now left alone. Kiro still up above, taking shots. They don't want anybody getting close to them. Do they have medkits to hold it off? Do they even need it? As Sinet and Vanyak pick up one more. It's Vico now, though, looking to secure another elimination.
He just finds those refresh materials. Not a ton, but at least it's something for Vico to use on the low ground. Vasquez there as well. Vanyak and Sinet, one of the only duos still left alive other than Kiro and Kuduo on the high ground. So it's a duo's dream here, moving through all these solos. Vico, missed opportunity as Vasquez able to bounce around and get out alive.
4 still on the board for Vico. No materials, though. He has 5 bandages, but it's not going to be as powerful as medkits. He needs to make something happen. Kiro dropped below to cause disruption on the low ground, leaving Kiddo up top, but with no medkits, he's going to have to go for an elimination.
Yeah, and you see Artskill already starting that heal off towards the backside of the zone. he might be able to take it if he has a few med kits, because this is going to come down to a fight. Sened, Vasquez, Kiduo, all three players still battling it out as solos here towards the front side of the zone. Art skill, he's able to at least get one more placing point forward. Zephyr, the final battle's going out. Sened versus Kiduo, and the heal off doesn't last towards the outside of the zone, but he stole together a couple of more placements before the game was finally stolen away.
Played perfectly with what they had. Kiduo quickly realizing he had no med kit. He had to go against that last player standing on the low ground, but knowing that he wasn't using a med kit, knowing that he most likely had more HP at 90, he took his time, he took his shots, and he took the victory royale.
Yeah, that's the perfect thing. Realizing the situation that you're in and making the most of it. Having the high ground, well-placed snipes from below, and even battling back to hold on to their position. Well-placed shot. That's how we saw Savage go down. Mongraal fell shortly after. These guys are picking up the pace at the perfect moment, Takata.
Blessed zone as well for the duo, being so high up in the clouds for the difficult roller coaster of a zone of the players who are rotating through the hill, the icy, slippery slope down below. Kiro, Kiduo need to do is stay up. The closest duo now, Kiro, Kiduo, were in third place, creeping on behind MrSavage and Malabuka. They need to find them in this late game. They need to eliminate them.
Just about one more placement, one more elimination will be official for Malabuka and MrSavage to take this game. Kiro and Kiduo still waiting in the wings, 32 below. They still have a chance right now. They're still over 60, 70 points on the board in terms of placement if Malabuka and MrSavage can go down.
Malabuka's cracked. The fresh is on. He gets knocked. It's all up to MrSavage. This could be it. The comeback from Kiro and Kiduo. If MrSavage goes down, he cannot let that happen.
I'm not even sure if a placement came in by the time Queasy Thomas went down. Not just yet. MrSavage still needs to be able to clutch up. He's been in this situation before 1 year ago, and he was on the victory end along with Tayson of a close race. But now it's going to be put to the test yet again. He's under pressure, getting shot from different angles, 83 HP. He's well above the damage threshold, and he still finds a way to stay alive. Even dodging zone along the way, but he goes down. MrSavage goes down, but he picked up more points in terms of placement.
It is all up to Kiro and Kiduo now. They need to secure the victory royale. They need to get eliminations, but with no builds to their name, they have to act fast.
There's a ton of placement points on the board, but they're going to need eliminations mixed in with that if they want to take it overall. Kiro and Kiduo, I don't even know if they know the situation that they're in right now.
They're still trying. Medkits.
Oh no.
Up. Duo partners went down. It's all up to Kiro. He has no materials. He's on the edge of zone. No more medkits now, as he might be able to pick up a bit of loot. It's even more medkits. The blessing as he grapples on in.
He didn't grab the medkits though. He panicked. He went to the front of zone. Doesn't grab materials either. Kiro has to dig deep. He got 6 more teams, 7 more teams down worth of placement points. 581. He needs to be able to push himself over the edge, but there are so many teams in his path ready to stop him.
Now the rotate continues. Shot connects. The Vico eliminated. That's one on the board. Materials recuperated. Now ahead of zone.
This is legendary right now. He's earned this spot. First elimination has been found, but once again, running out of builds, running out of time. You see him looking all around, trying to look to the backside of the zone. Can he find anybody sneaking around? There are so many duos on top of that layer that he's at. Sato and Alex, they cut him off in front. Kiro finally goes down. He didn't get enough points.
Malabuka and MrSavage, will they be able to hold on to the throne as Marius is finishing off this last match? Medkit popped, 3 elims on the board.
Sangil got his first victory royale this weekend in FNCS Finals lobby, looking to make it 2, looking to get more points and line their pockets with money, but Marius forced to drop down low. Shots coming from above. It's almost looking like a solo FNCS, but one duo, Noms and Cringe on the high ground.
And they're holding strong. Just 11, 14 HP for Marius. He's forced back into zone, but it's duos that are up against him. He needs a miracle for the 1 versus 2. Takes the first shot, hits a wall, blocked off, as now Marius is the only solo left.
He's just hiding, the only nook, cranny he can take. but he gets taken out. Alex Sato on the low ground. Noms and Cringe switching up their drop spot in the last 2 games. They've got 6 eliminations up until this point. What a way to end the game if they can somehow drop down to their opponent and finish it off. But multiple win conditions going around both of these teams. 3 medkits each. Sato getting tossed around, trying to play Disruptor, but he's going to get dropped down. Noms and Cringe, they're the duo on the high ground, but Alex forced to start to heal off early.
Both teams had 3 medkits. Andalex, though, the pressure's on him. Noms goes down with the knock. The heal off continues now. Who is going to be able to outlive?
Andalex does have a little bit of lead in terms of those medkits, but we've seen multiple heals getting scattered around on some fallen foes. Andalex starting the last of his opportunity. Cringe, he finds another one. Almost fumbles the bag there, but the medkit is going to be popped. Andalex now has to turn the tides. He has to go on the hunt, sees an opponent, staring him in the eyes, trying to go for the piece control. Cancels the medkit. Andalex clutches up by taking down Cringe.
He does it. The medkit was found by Cringe, but it was not enough to hold on. Andalex securing that final shot for the final victory royale of the day.
And that race was so close to Kata. It was so close to the very end. Queasy, Thomas HD, Malibuka, MrSavage, history repeating itself going into the final game with just 2 points, but we're all left waiting. Who won? That's the biggest question. Of course, Alex was able to clutch up in this game. He's probably lined himself with more money in his pockets, but who went to the global championship?
That's the big question. 2 teams from today are booking their tickets to the global championship, but only 1 team is securing that FNCS title.
And who is raising the axe of champions? And we can now reveal that your champions of Chapter 5, Season 1 by 1 point, are winners of $170,000, the Axe of Champions, and a spot in Global Championships is MrSavage and Malibuka, 649 points. This is a duo that show consistency throughout Chapter 5, Season 1, and they are your deserving champions, Mini Miner.
They say that good things come to those who wait, and oh boy, has Malibuka waited a long time for this very moment.